Good stuff. It's all right. I'm gonna go a cappella if that's all right, because in general most of the lyrics are loud, so it's not really a big deal. So I've had the pleasure of knowing, 12, 15 years is nice. I've had to deal with this stench for 31 years of my entire life. So I mean, it's been crushing since we were really young. Like we had like the typical family, that had like the big station wagon and family vacation every single year. You would pack, 6 people or 5 people in this thing. You'd have the turtle top up top. You have the kids in the back, and you would drive from Cincinnati all the way down to Miami, Florida, like 18 straight hours, sitting with him in the back of the car with his ass literally as if like Satan had thrown up and died inside of him, and that's like what's coming out of him for like the entire way that you're down there. It was the absolute worst, and it was like so bad, and like everyone in our family kind of knew it. We did some like really bizarre experiments, like when we were like kids growing up. There was an entire summer where Chris, to see how bad his ass was, he had a 2-liter Coke bottle, and every time he had to fart, he would open up this 2-liter Coke bottle and fart inside this 2-liter Coke bottle, and then twist the cap back onto it for an entire summer. And then he'd be like, hey, come smell this, come smell this. And he would take the cap off of this thing. And it was literally as if like Mount Rumpke was in his room, where just like fart would just go off into his entire fart bomb that would come off in this entire room. And it got to the point where like he was like, well, I don't know, like can we light this thing on fire or not? I mean, we always got to figure out like, can you light farts on fire or not? And like it was like the end of summer. There's like at this point, I don't know, there's like a ton of gas in this thing, so like of course like you twist it off. We think there's some huge like flame, that's gonna like come out of this thing, and like it's like unfortunately it's like a real like dud, like nothing happens. We're like, there's no way like the gas in this kid, like this is unbelievable, like nothing happened. So like this is probably like 6th, 7th grade, and we're like, all right, well like nothing came in the bottle, but like let's do a little myth busting of our own. Like, can we light one of Chris's farts on fire, like ourselves, and see if we can get like a big thing out of it. So I'm sitting here and like my brother Brad is the one who's holding this lighter, like right up to Chris's ass. And, like positioning it, like a little bit. Be like, all right, you gotta get like real close. Chris is like spreading his butt cheeks, to get like really loud. And we're like, but we have like a good like 8 feet of runway behind it in case like you have like a total like flare out that happens type of deal. So like, we're sitting there and I'm like, all right, Brad, you got the lighter, you got it all lit? And he's like, yeah, I got it. And I'm like, Chris, how you feeling? He's like, I think I got one coming. And just shits all over Brad's hand. I'm not talking about like I'm talking like diarrhea shit. Comes all the way out, blows blood into shit all over Brad's hand, just covered in diarrhea in this thing. And it was the funniest day. Like there's shit on the floor, there's shit on Brad's hand. So Brad sees this, and of course just starts pummeling Chris with a shit full of piss. All over his back. It was the funniest damn thing like I've ever seen in my entire life. We were just absolutely laughing our ass off. And that's Gunner, Max, and I'm sure the third Frericks boy on the way. I'm sure they'll have all types of similar fun growing up. But it was an absolute blast. Growing up, just myth-busting stuff all the time like that, and had a ton of fun. I'm sure I'll be back up later on when I bring up some, think of some more stories later on. Thanks for coming. Start off on a strong note. Chris just shitting on our younger brother's hands instead of farting all over the place. So,
still worth it.
Total asshole move, Total asshole move.
Even better, this story comes out.
There's no coming back from that. But so. One quick story too. Haley's experience
By the way,
this
that's my
summer.
wife in the back, Tori. Love you the most. Hopefully, I didn't shit on his hand. All right, that's it. Strong.
I'm just glad he's not Brad.
So our next guest roaster would be Haley Lynch.
All right,
Haley experienced the summer of 2002, I believe it was, where Chris not only decided to grow a rat tail for 4 months for $20. He decided to not shower for that entire 3 months of summer vacation, except for swimming in the pool.
The Enos's pool.
So Haley had experienced that pretty much every night, so she's probably got a few different stories here to share with you right now.
Not gonna be the shitting on someone's story.
Walk over there.
You are very easy to make fun of for smelling like shit, for stuttering, for having gout. But after I was thinking about a lot of memories, I realized I actually have a lot to thank you for, Chris. So this might be a little bit of a break from a roast. First of the night, last of the night. But first, going back to high school, thank you for being my go-to dance date. Even though the conditions were Golden Corral, Haley bought, windows down, because that's the only way to ride, with the heat blared up. But it was well worth it for me, so thank you for that. And then after college, thank you, well, you get a shout out here too, for letting me live rent-free in your Clifton house. Willingly, even though it smelled like shit all the time. You only kicked me out one time, so thank you for that. And then in our mid-20s, the year we went to the Derby, and I happened to fall on my face and knock out my 2 front teeth for all of you. Chris, I know it was so hard for you to stop the bus at the hospital to pick me up.
It was even more harder for him to wait for you to get to the bus.
Exactly. Sorry about
There's
that.
a good bone in my body somewhere very deep.
That's when I knew we were going to be friends forever. Thank you for moving to Nashville, so I have a place to visit, and for being my road trip buddy back from Cincinnati on many occasions. Also, thank you for paying me to watch your children in P&G products. I have enough body wash, tampons, and air freshener to last a lifetime. Better than money and gift cards, trust me. And lastly, I mean, thank you for being you. I think you're one of the funniest people I know. I really do love being your and Jackie's third wheel, and probably will be forever. We'll be sister wives before too long. So cheers to Chris.
All right, so quick story on the Derby bus real quick. So Haley decides to ride the back of a random stranger and all of a sudden go face first, knocking her 2 front teeth out. And we're sitting on the bus for about 2 hours. And it's hot, sticky, everyone's blackout drunk. And Chris says we have to go to the hospital to pick up Haley. So we all decide to boo Chris and then proceed to have 45 people take a piss break in the hospital ER, blackout drunk, to pick up Haley, who the doctors look at. They didn't know who to service at that point.
I was going to jail.
So you did have a good bone in your body, but you also provided a great story too. So Steph Hupp is up next.
Step up.
Steph
I'll go.
Rozier, I apologize.
No, I'll go. No, I was
got
making fun of him
married,
because he called me Step up.
Steph Rozier is up next.
She asked for me to change my
Step
name.
Rozier.
Okay, so I'm like a poem queen, so I wrote a poem for Chris. Okay, we are all here to celebrate Chris. Remember in high school when he drank his own piss? We went to a dance our sophomore year. One rule, he said, kids menu. Is that clear? Penny pinching and coupons were specialties of his past. He was able to do this while still having a blast. One day I stepped on his foot, which was stupid, no doubt, totally forgetting that at age 23, he had gout. How he got Jackie, no one will ever know, but her and the kids sure make his face glow. So let's raise all of our glasses. What do you say to Chris? Happy birthday. Alrighty. Tara, you want to go?
All right. Now my lovely wife, who can't put a dog down, will come up and probably talk for 10 seconds.
I'm reading it.
Remember, she made the cookie bouquet.
Hold on. Before we go anything, before Erin says a word, Erin licked my toenails.
I know.
For a dollar.
Before she's
For $1.
She's looking for $1, so I got this one coming back to
I think it might actually be in here.
her. It should be.
Okay, so for all of you who don't know, we're doing this for our good friend Erin, who's not here. She says, a couple quick lessons I've learned about Chris Frericks over the years. You're the only person I know that will lick cobwebs from your basement window for a little bit of change, except me, who will lick your gout for $1. I never knew that you could run red lights during a snow emergency, and I can't believe I actually believed you. I never thought I would be involved in a high-speed chase in the middle of nowhere and actually lose the cops until I met you. So many more memories, but these are just a few that came to mind. You and I could not be more different, but somehow we have been friends for years, and I wouldn't change it in a million years. I'm sorry we can't be there. Happy to celebrate. Happy 30th. So that is from Erin.
Arantino.
Erin Tino.
Said baby.
We'll call her at about 1:30 tonight.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and
And
tell
see
her
if she's
thanks about 1:30 in the morning.
I might.
All right. So besides the videos that we have, now is our main event roaster. It's your other half who probably could be up here for 3 days and should be up here for 3 days for putting up for your shit. So, Jackie Frericks.
All right, Jackie.
She's got more on me than all of you combined. So watch out.
I'm just going to tell the worst Chris Farron stories that I've personally experienced.
Be careful, you're
How did
pregnant
you
again.
pick this one?
I've narrowed it down. I was 8.5 months pregnant with Max, or I guess 8 months pregnant, 4 years ago tonight. We went out for his birthday. I went home at 11 o'clock. We had Lamaze at 9 a.m. the next morning.
Oh, God.
He falls into our room at 3 in the morning, crawls into bed, completely dressed. I go back to bed, hopefully he doesn't touch me, like. I wake up 20 minutes later to him leaning over me just puking. Everywhere. Puking. I had to drag him to the bathroom and turn the shower on. He laid in there till the next morning. I obviously pissed as hell. We missed Lamaze class, newly pregnant person crying, saying getting a divorce, walking through Hyde Park. It was utterly hell. Let's think. Gifts. Oh, he buys the worst presents. We lived in a house without a garage. So every morning I bitch that it's freezing, I don't want to go out there, scrape my car. So he got me an automatic car starter for Christmas, and I was thrilled. Got it installed. He went and took it, got it installed at Circuit City, which is now not in business, and I found that out the hard way. I get my automatic car starter. Well, a week after I get it, it only works. I can only start my car with the automatic car starter. I can't use my key ever. So valet, I have to explain to everyone, you have to push it twice, then move it a little, then move it back, and it works. And I just kind of went with it. And then my mom and dad were that's not normal, it's not supposed to do that. And he's oh, damn, someone told her. Dumbass, I believed him. So I go to Circuit City, damn it. I go to Circuit City with my mom, and my mom's we're gonna get this taken care of. Well, she's do you have the receipt? And I'm no, well, I have the product, and he bought it here, he told me. Well, he told me he bought it there. He did buy it there. I called him with my mom. I did. But I was on Craigslist later that night, and a guy was selling one for $50. So I bought it from him, and they installed it. So I had this faulty thing. It might still be in the car out there that he drives now. But yes, that was another wonderful, wonderful Chris Farris present. There's the horror. He's banned from using any bathroom near us on the first floor. He goes upstairs at other house. He went in the basement with the cobwebs. It's an unfinished basement. The kids think he's the grossest human in the world. That's sad coming from a 1.5 and a 3-year-old. He haggles everyone, everywhere, even if it's not Nordstrom's. He would probably go in and try to get a deal on a pair of shoes. Yeah, so life's been interesting with him, but it's been good. And I don't have my paper. I lost my paper, and that's all I can think of right now. So
You love him anyways.
yeah. Cheers.
That's all you got? You don't have enough
I
ammo.
can't think of anyone.
You want me to come back?
Just stay there. Jackie.
All right, so thank you, Jackie.
I know I did.
All right, does anyone else want to get up and say anything about Chris or tell him how terrible he is?
Brittany,
All right, so we do have a few videos prepared from his friends across the nation here that love to get this off their chest. There's a few good ones out there. So, Chris, if you want to go in the middle there so we can plug this in and get the rest of this started.